This is a $10 phone. This is the UMX U675. So, sort of weird. I actually had this in my collection since about 2020 or 2021. I don't think I actually have tested it ever. And so I had this in my collection, and when I searched up the information of this device, there was almost nothing, no information. There was a little bit. It took me about 20 minutes to find the exact phone model this even was, and it's kind of a bit of a mystery phone. So this video is basically going to be a test of whether this $10 phone can actually survive day-to-day usage. Can it play games? Can it browse the internet? And more. So sort of weird thing. This is a not well-known of a brand. This is not a well-known brand at all. UMX. I guess it means Ultimate Mobile Experience as the brand name. That's what it means. Sort of a weird brand name, and I've never heard of it. Anyways, sort of weird. So anyways, let's see how this holds up. So first off, let's start off with the design. So the design for this phone is a plastic back, a plastic side, and I think either a really terrible glass screen or a plastic screen. And I'm thinking this is a plastic screen because I could see scratches that I don't think are really like those glass scratches. These are definitely, I think, plastic scratches. But like I said, there's not much information of this phone, so I did have to do a lot of my own testing. But anyways, yeah. So I'm assuming it's basically all plastic. And I gotta say, even for $10, this is not a good design at all. Maybe the only good thing is that there is this sort of rigid back that kind of helps you hold the phone and makes it not slip. That does have you kind of, if you don't have a case, because I don't know who would have a case for this, but if you don't have a case, then this would definitely help your grip on the phone. Another thing is that when you're holding the phone like this, these corners are so sharp. It's actually ridiculous. Like, in a way, it's just, it feels like, it looks like it almost goes in the palm of your hand, but not in a comfortable way at all. It almost rests like this. The problem is that these corners are just so sharp. It doesn't feel great at all. So we also have a 5 megapixel camera on the back. We have no front camera though. We have no front camera at all. So this actually took me a kind of long time to figure out, but I guess this has a 480 by 720 pixel screen, which even for this size screen, which is pretty small, it doesn't look good at all. And it's not just because of the resolution, it's also because of the brightness. This is literally in the shade and you can even still barely see it, but let's go out to the sun and here we go. Yeah, you can't see anything and it's not even the middle of the day. Not even close. Really can't see anything. The colors are also horrendous, I would say, and so are the viewing angles. There's not much color in the screen is what I'm basically trying to say. It feels very dim. It feels kind of washed as well. It doesn't feel like it's a very vibrant display. It's very washed out. So this phone can record up to 720p video. It's a 5 megapixel camera and it says 5 megapixels at the back. So that's how you know. But let's take a photo right here and let's assess how it is. So first thing you're gonna notice is that I think the shadows are very darkened. Unless you point it up like this, then you can kind of see it better. So it is also just partially just because of the screen. The photo itself is, honestly, it's not terrible. If you're expecting any, even budget phone quality, like $100 phone budget quality, it's not that. I will say it does capture the landscape pretty accurately besides the darkening of the shadows. And the detail, while being definitely not great, is for sure passable, especially for a phone that is worth about $10. So how's the day-to-day usage of this phone? Well, first of all, let me tell you what specs are in here. We got the Snapdragon S4 Play, and it does say the MSM 8625, and I searched it up. That is the Snapdragon S4 Play. Now, we got 512 megabytes of RAM. I know it says 380, but it's really 512. And internally, I guess we have a gigabyte. I heard something that we have 4 gigabytes, but I guess we only have one, at least in this system, which, if you think about it, is actually so insane because even something like a 64 gigabyte phone, this is 1/64th of what a typical 64 gigabyte phone is because it's literally 1 gigabyte. So I've tested out the performance, and here is my conclusion. It's not good, not even for a $10 phone. It might be one of the worst ever, actually, because even if I run something as simple as the Play Store, or even run something as simple as Device Info Hardware, which is a spec app, some of the things, even on the most simplest apps, don't work. Also, I've been waiting for about 15 seconds now. Oh, here we go. But I was waiting for that to load for like 15 seconds. But if I click on, for instance, screen, let's click on screen right here. Unfortunately, device info hardware is stopped, and that's what most apps say. Almost every single app says this is stopped, it's not working, and that is in part because of Android 4.1.2 being on the system. It's extremely outdated. It's not something like Android 4.4. I think Android 4.4 and up is totally usable, even if it is a cheap phone. This is not usable at all because most things will just crash, even if a decent amount of things will download. Including this, web browsing does not work. Web browsing does not work at all. Literally nothing works on here. This might just be because, tell me what this means, because it seems like this is a problem for every single one. I realized that Chrome was on here. I thought it was working because it seems like it can search up stuff. Like it can, if I type in Apple, then it'll give different results like Apple Store, Apple TV. So it's clearly using the internet. But I guess it doesn't work. I don't know what it's doing exactly. Okay, I guess let's try to go onto a website. There's still an error. I guess you can go on Google and you could still technically search things, but you can't go on any actual websites. If anyone could tell me what this problem is, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure what this means is that it's so outdated that I can't really browse the internet because it just maybe doesn't have the most up-to-date security or something like that. Let's talk about battery life. This has an 1,000 milliamp hour battery, and so you can already guess that this is not great. By the way, this does have micro USB charging, so it's the old form. And obviously for $10, you're not really expecting much in terms of battery or charging. What I'll say is that it doesn't last too long. I charged this up to about 70% today, and haven't been using it too much. I guess I've been using it for about an hour or an hour and a half, and it is already about to die. So overall, should you buy this phone for any kind of usage? Hell no, do not buy this phone. This is probably one of the worst phones I've ever reviewed in my entire life. I gotta be honest, after using this for only even basically a day, it really is horrendous. I don't think there's a single good thing about this. I had this on a lot. It's a very cheap phone. It's extremely cheap. You can find it for $5 or $10. Would I recommend you spending that $5 or $10? Hell no. Do not spend $5 or $10 even on this. It's not a good phone. There's no good qualities about this. The camera, mediocre. Design, mediocre. Screen, terrible. Performance, horrendous. I mean, I don't think a single good quality about this phone. There's not a single good quality. The back can scratch extremely easily. The front can scratch really easily because pretty sure this is a plastic screen. Starting this review, I actually didn't expect this to be so bad, but after just testing every single aspect of this phone, I don't think I've dealt with a worse phone, maybe since I have had the Nexus S, and that was pretty bad, but this is a whole new level. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It was definitely an interesting experience trying out this phone, but definitely not a great one. But yeah, just do not buy this phone. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching and living this through with me, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.